The vast darkness of space surrounded the research vessel Aurora. As it drifted near the edge of charted territory, Kira Morgan floated in the observation deck, watching distant stars twinkle against the endless void. Her brown hair tied back in a practical ponytail, her green eyes reflecting the pinpoints of light. She enjoyed these quiet moments alone before her shift began as the ship biologist. The Aurora represented the 5th human expedition beyond our solar system. Their mission, to study potentially habitable worlds and collect data on stellar phenomena. The 20-person crew had worked together for 14 months now, becoming something like family. In the isolation of deep space, Kira checked her tablet, noting anomalous readings from a nearby star system. The science team planned to investigate the unusual energy signatures once the captain approved their course change. She made notes on possible biological implications if they discovered a new form of stellar radiation. The ship lurched suddenly, throwing Kira against the viewport. Warning klaxons blared throughout the vessel as emergency lights bathed everything in red. Her training kicked in as she pushed away from the wall and rushed toward her emergency. Station Captain Laura Wilson's voice came through the ship-wide communication system. "We are experiencing multiple system failures. All personnel report to emergency stations. This is not a drill." The Aurora shuddered again, more violently this time. Kira grabbed handholds along the corridor as artificial gravity fluctuated. She passed other crew members, all moving with urgent purpose, their faces masks of professional concern rather than panic. They had trained for emergencies, but nothing in the simulations matched the reality of feeling their ship dying around them. When Kira reached the biology lab, she secured critical samples and research data. Following protocol, she transferred everything to emergency storage containers designed to survive extreme conditions. If they needed to evacuate, at least their scientific discoveries would not be lost. The ship communication system crackled with static engineering reports. Critical reactor containment failure. Prepare for emergency protocols. Kira felt her heart race but kept her movements methodical. Fear would not help them now. Only clear thinking and proper procedure offered any chance of survival. She sealed the final container, just as the lights failed completely. Emergency backups activated, a moment later providing minimal illumination. The crew gathered in the central hub as Captain Wilson explained their situation. The Aurora had suffered catastrophic damage to multiple critical systems. The cause remained unknown, but the effects were clear. Without immediate repairs, they would lose life support within hours. Their distress signal was broadcasting, but the nearest human outpost was weeks away even at maximum speed. "We need to prepare for evacuation," Captain Wilson said, her voice steady. Despite the gravity of their situation, the emergency shuttle can sustain 18 people for up to 30 days. That gives us our best chance for rescue. Kira helped prepare essential supplies for the shuttle. Everyone worked with grim efficiency. The Aurora had been their home for over a year. Now they prepared to abandon it to the void. No one spoke about the mathematical reality that their chances of rescue were minimal at best. They simply focused on the tasks at hand as they loaded the final supplies into the shuttle. The ship rocked violently. Metal screamed as structural supports failed. Kira lost her footing, sliding across the deck until strong hands caught her. Engineer Maya Patel pulled her upright. "We need to go." Now Maya said the reactor containment is failing faster than predicted. They rushed toward the shuttle bay, but another explosion ripped through the ship, separating Kira and 3 others from the main group. Debris blocked the primary route to the shuttle. Captain Wilson's voice came through their personal communicators. "Find an alternate route." "We will wait as long as possible." Kira and the small group navigated through increasingly damaged sections of the ship. The Aurora groaned around them, like a dying animal. Kira led them through a maintenance tunnel that should connect to the shuttle bay from a different angle. They crawled through narrow passages as the ship continued to break apart. When they finally reached the shuttle bay, they found it partially exposed to space. Emergency force fields contained the atmosphere, but flickered dangerously. The shuttle itself appeared intact, but the captain and most of the crew were already aboard. Urgent voices called them forward. Kira helped the others across the damaged bay. When her turn came, she pushed off toward the shuttle entrance. The ship lurched once more violently. The force field fluctuated. Kira felt the pull of vacuum as the field weakened. She pushed harder, propelling herself toward the shuttle. But another explosion rocked the Aurora. The shuttle emergency systems activated, sealing the door just before Kira could reach it. She saw the anguished faces of her crewmates through the viewport as the automatic launch sequence engaged. The shuttle detached from the dying ship, pulled away by emergency thrusters. Kira found herself alone in the shuttle bay as the force field finally failed. The explosive decompression flung her into space. Her emergency suit deployed automatically, giving her perhaps 30 minutes of air and minimal protection from the cold of space. She tumbled away from the Aurora, watching helplessly as the ship that had been her home broke apart in a series of catastrophic explosions. Kira tried to control her breathing, knowing that panic would only waste precious oxygen. She activated her emergency beacon. Though she harbored no illusions about rescue, the shuttle had been their only hope. Now she drifted alone among the stars. Her training had never prepared her for this kind of death. Strangely, she felt a sense of peace watching the beauty of space around her. If she must die, at least she would do so. Surrounded by the cosmos, she had devoted her life to studying. As her oxygen supply dwindled, Kira noticed something strange. A light approached, too regular to be natural, too fast to be debris. Her scientific mind registered curiosity, even as hope seemed foolish. The light grew larger, resolving into a shape unlike any human vessel. The object moved with impossible grace, its hull gleaming with subtle patterns that seemed to flow like water. Kira wondered if oxygen deprivation caused hallucinations as the vessel approached. Its design defied human engineering principles, with curved organic lines and materials that seemed to shift colors. The vessel extended what appeared to be a docking tube, moving with precision until it enveloped Kira completely. She felt herself being drawn inside the alien craft. Unable to resist, and with no alternatives, she surrendered to whatever fate awaited her. The tube delivered her to a chamber filled with breathable atmosphere. Her emergency suit retracted automatically, as if responding to unseen commands. Kira gasped, filling her lungs with sweet air. Her scientific mind noted the slightly different composition, though perfectly breathable for humans. The chamber walls glowed with soft light, emanating from the material itself, rather than any visible fixtures. The architecture featured flowing curves, without the sharp angles and visible seams of human construction. A section of wall simply disappeared, revealing a corridor beyond. A figure stood there, watching Kira with evident curiosity. Kira stared back, equally fascinated. The being appeared, humanoid, but stood nearly 7 feet tall, with blue skin covered in subtle luminescent patterns that shifted slowly. Its proportions seemed mostly human, though slightly elongated. The face featured high cheekbones, large eyes with 4 pupils that moved independently, and small ridges where eyebrows would be on. A human, Kira reminded herself that despite the humanoid appearance, this being evolved on a different world under different conditions. Any similarities resulted from convergent evolution, or perhaps something more profound. The alien approached, moving with fluid grace. Unlike humans who shifted weight from foot to foot, this being seemed to flow forward without awkward transitions. It stopped a respectful distance away and spoke in a melodic voice. Human, we welcome you. I am Neela. The words came in perfect English, though the mouth movements did not match. The translation likely technological, rather than biological. Kira found her voice. I am Kira, Morgan of Earth Research Vessel, Aurora. Thank you for saving me. Neela head tilted slightly. We observed your ship distress. We arrived too late to prevent its destruction, but found you. The others escaped in a small vessel. They will survive if found soon. Hope surged through Kira. Do you know where they went? Can you help them? The alien gestured to the corridor. Please follow. We will explain everything. Kira took her first steps into a new world, following the blue-skinned being deeper into the alien vessel. Her scientific training cataloged everything she observed, while her human heart raced with the implications of this first contact. They passed chambers filled with technology beyond human understanding. Occasionally, other aliens similar to Neela watched Kira with evident interest. None showed fear or hostility. Only curiosity. Kira noticed subtle differences among them, variations in height, skin patterns, and facial features. Neela led her to what appeared to be a command center. A large curved viewport revealed stars and the debris field that had once been the Aurora. Kira felt a pang of loss seeing the destruction of the ship. But she lived, and apparently her crewmates had a chance as well. We are the Shikari. Neela explained. We have observed humans for some time from a distance. Your species shows great promise despite your technological limitations. Kira absorbed this information. Are there others, like other species among the stars? Days passed as Kira adjusted to life aboard the Shikari vessel. She learned their ship, called Celestial Seeker, served as both exploration craft and diplomatic vessel. The Shikari provided her with comfortable quarters, adapting the environment to human needs. They seemed genuinely concerned with her comfort, monitoring her health with non-invasive methods. Kira spent much of her time with Neela, learning about Shikari culture and technology. While physically different from humans, the Shikari shared surprising similarities in values. They prized knowledge exploration and peaceful cooperation. Their society functioned without currency, focusing instead on contribution. And Neela explained how the Shikari belonged to a coalition of spacefaring species sharing resources and knowledge across hundreds of star systems. The coalition maintained peace through mutual benefit rather than military force, though they maintained defensive capabilities. What about my crew? Kira asked during their fourth day together. She worried constantly about her companions drifting in the emergency shuttle. We follow their vessel. Neela assured her. We could intercept at any moment. But protocol suggests allowing your people to make contact with us. First, we have sent signals they will detect soon. The explanation frustrated Kira, but she understood the caution. First contact situations carried tremendous risk. The Shikari wanted humanity to adjust gradually to their existence, rather than forcing an encounter as they talked. Neela guided Kira through various sections of the ship, introducing her to other Shikari. The aliens treated Kira with respectful curiosity, asking questions about human biology, culture, and history. Kira answered as best she could while gathering her own information. In the medical bay, Kira met the chief scientist Tala, who explained their interest in humans. Our species faces a challenge. Tala said, her English less practiced than Neela's, but still clear genetic degradation threatens our future. Many generations of space travel has affected our biology. We lose genetic diversity with each generation. Kira considered this revelation. You think human DNA might help? Tala made an affirmative gesture. Preliminary analysis of your biology suggests compatibility. Your species adapts quickly to environmental changes. This trait interests us greatly. Before Kira could ask more questions, an alarm sounded throughout the ship. Neela gestured for Kira to follow her to the command center. The main display showed a massive vessel approaching, its design completely different from the Shikari ship. Angular, aggressive, with weapons clearly visible along its hull. The Vex. Neela said, her voice tight with concern. They must not find you. Kira felt a chill. Who are the Vex expansionists? Neela explained. They conquer through assimilation, destroying what they cannot use. Their empire grows at the expense of all others. The coalition maintains uneasy boundaries with them, but conflict increases the command center filled with Shikari officers working with coordinated efficiency. The display showed the Vex vessel changing course, moving directly toward them. They detected us, Neela said. We must evade. The Celestial Seeker accelerated. Using technology that somehow negated inertia, Kira would have expected to feel the force of their sudden movement, but experienced nothing. The stars outside the viewport shifted as the ship changed direction at impossible speeds. The Vex vessel pursued, adjusting course to match. Their weapons technology surpasses ours, Neela explained. We survive through stealth and maneuverability, not confrontation. For hours, the Shikari vessel evaded its pursuer using asteroid fields and radiation clouds. For cover, Kira watched with growing tension as the Vex ship maintained its pursuit despite the Shikari best efforts. The chase eventually led them near a massive gas giant with dozens of moons. "We have no choice," Neela announced. "We must use the gravity." Well, they directed their ship dangerously close to the gas giant, using its immense gravity to slingshot around at tremendous speed. The maneuver worked, creating distance between them and the Vex vessel. The reprieve proved temporary. The Vex adjusted, course resuming pursuit with determined precision. A second Vex ship appeared on sensors approaching from a different vector. "We are being herded," Neela realized. The second ship blocked their planned escape route. The Shikari officers conferred quickly, speaking in their native language, too fast for the translation system to keep pace. Kira recognized the gravity of their situation, even without understanding the words. The tension in the command center spoke volumes. Neela turned to Kira. "We face a difficult choice. The Vex must not capture our technology or learn about our interest in humans. It would endanger both our peoples. We can escape, but must first secure your shuttle." Kira felt her heart skip. "You're tracking my crew. What about them?" "We must retrieve them immediately," Neela said. "The Vex will find them if we do not. Your people carry evidence of Shikari contact. The Vex would extract that information, causing your companions great suffering." Kira nodded, understanding the implications. "We have to save them." The Celestial Seeker changed course again, accelerating toward the last known position of the Aurora shuttle. The display showed the Vex vessels adjusting to follow. Neela issued orders, her voice calm, despite the danger. "We will deploy countermeasures to delay them." The Shikari ship released dozens of small objects that expanded into what appeared to be decoy vessels, each broadcasting signals identical to the Celestial Seeker. The Vex ships hesitated, momentarily confused by the sudden proliferation of targets. That hesitation gave the Shikari the time they needed. Sensors located the Aurora shuttle drifting exactly where predicted. Kira felt relief wash over her as the display showed 17 life signs aboard all, but her had survived the evacuation. The Shikari vessel approached, carefully extending a docking tube, similar to the one that had rescued Kira. Captain Wilson and the Aurora crew reacted with understandable alarm when their shuttle was captured by an alien vessel. Neela allowed Kira to transmit a message explaining the situation. Her former crewmates responded with cautious optimism at hearing her voice. The docking completed just as the Vex vessels reappeared on sensors, having destroyed the decoys and resumed pursuit. The shuttle and its occupants were brought safely aboard the Celestial Seeker, seconds before the ship accelerated away from the approaching threat. Kira rushed to the docking bay to meet her companions. Their reunion mixed joy with confusion, as the humans found themselves aboard an alien vessel surrounded by blue-skinned beings. Captain Wilson maintained impressive composure, asking direct questions about their situation. Neela explained the danger as the Celestial Seeker evaded the Vex pursuers. "We must reach Coalition space. The boundary lies 6 light days from here. Our vessel can sustain maximum speed for that duration, but the Vex ships are faster. We need another solution." The human engineers studied the Shikari technology with professional interest. Despite their extraordinary circumstances, Chief Engineer Maya Patel noted similarities between Shikari propulsion theory and experimental human designs. The principles overlapped, though Shikari implementation far surpassed human capabilities. Captain Wilson conferred with her senior officers before addressing Neela. "What can we do to help your people? Saved us twice now. We want to contribute." Neela considered the offer. Human thinking might provide perspectives. "We lack your species approaches problems differently. The Vex know our capabilities but have never encountered humans." Maya stepped forward, studying the sensor displays showing the pursuing vessels. "What if we modified the shuttle? We could turn it into a weapon." The Vex would expect it to be a simple escape craft, not a threat. The Shikari had never considered using a vessel as a weapon. Their cultural aversion to offensive tactics had limited their strategic options. But the human suggestion opened new possibilities. The Aurora shuttle still contained its maneuvering thrusters and power core. While primitive by Shikari standards, those systems could be modified. For the next several hours, humans and Shikari worked together reconfiguring. The shuttle Kira marveled at how quickly her companions adapted to the alien technology. The two species communicated through a combination of translated speech, technical diagrams, and improvised hand gestures. They shared a common language of science and engineering that transcended their biological differences. The Vex continued their pursuit, gradually closing the distance. Smaller scout ships deployed from the larger vessels, spreading out to cut off potential escape routes. The Celestial Seeker maneuvered through increasingly limited options. The modified shuttle represented their best hope. Captain Wilson selected a volunteer team to pilot the shuttle. Despite protests, she included herself in the mission. The plan required precision timing and coordination. The shuttle would launch appearing to be humans attempting escape. The Vex would likely target this apparently vulnerable craft, not recognizing the modifications. The shuttle launched as planned, veering away from the Celestial Seeker. As expected, the nearest Vex vessel adjusted course to intercept the smaller craft. Captain Wilson piloted the shuttle with deliberate clumsiness, mimicking panicked evasion. The Vex deployed capture beams attempting to draw the shuttle into their hold. At the critical moment, Wilson activated the modified systems. The shuttle power core overloaded in a controlled cascade, converting the entire vessel into an electromagnetic pulse weapon. The discharge struck the Vex ship at point-blank range. The pulse fried their electronic systems, leaving the massive vessel drifting powerless. The second Vex ship hesitated, seemingly confused by the unexpected tactic. The Coalition outpost impressed even the most stoic human crew members. The massive structure housed representatives from 12 spacefaring species, each maintaining their own section, adapted to their biological needs. The central hub where species interacted featured environmental compromises allowing comfortable coexistence. Captain Wilson and her senior officers represented humanity in discussions with the Coalition leadership. Kira attended as a scientific liaison, her time aboard the Shikari vessel making her the most experienced in alien interaction. The humans found themselves seated at a curved table facing representatives who defied imagination. Besides the now familiar Shikari, they met the Tellarites, short, stocky beings with remarkable mathematical abilities, the Vondari, who resembled upright felines with 6 limbs, and the Meraki, crystalline entities who communicated through light patterns. These and other species regarded the humans with evident curiosity. The Coalition leader, a Tellarite named Corvin, addressed them formally. Your arrival marks a significant moment. Humanity has been observed but not approached until now. Circumstances have accelerated the natural contact timeline. We regret this necessity. Captain Wilson maintained impressive composure. We appreciate your welcome and the Shikari rescue of our crew. We come seeking understanding, not conflict. The Meraki representative flashed complex patterns that the translation system rendered as conflict finds. All species eventually. The Vex expand without negotiation. They view others as resources, not equals. Your encounter with them changes the equation. For hours, the Coalition representatives explained the galactic political situation. The Coalition encompassed nearly a third of the galaxy, sharing technology, culture, and resources peacefully. The Vex controlled a smaller region, but expanded aggressively, assimilating or destroying all in their path. Several buffer zones separated the powers, but these diminished. Yearly Kira listened carefully, noting the Coalition representatives spoke with honesty about their own limitations. We lack unity in military matters, the Vondari representative explained. Each species contributes differently. Our strength lies in diversity, not conformity, but this creates strategic challenges against the single-minded Vex. The implications became clear. The Coalition sought allies against eventual Vex aggression. Humanity, while technologically less advanced, offered new perspectives and biological advantages. The humans' creativity, particularly their willingness to convert the shuttle into a weapon, had impressed the Coalition. The Aurora crew had demonstrated adaptability that many Coalition species lacked. After the formal discussions, Kira found herself walking with Neela through the station gardens. The artificial environment recreated ecosystems from multiple worlds. Plants from a dozen planets coexisted in carefully maintained balance. Why didn't the Coalition contact Earth? Earlier, Kira asked. We detected no signs of your observation. Neela gestured toward a flowering plant that responded to their proximity by changing colors. Coalition protocol restricts contact with developing species until they achieve independent, interstellar travel. This prevents cultural contamination and technological dependence, and now Kira prompted, now circumstances force acceleration. Neela admitted, the Vex encountered your shuttle. They will investigate humanity regardless of Coalition wishes. We must prepare your people. The Coalition Council debated for 2 days while the Aurora crew rested and learned about their hosts. Captain Wilson insisted on sending a message to Earth, warning of both the Coalition and Vex existence. The Council eventually agreed, providing a Coalition vessel to transport the humans home. Before departure, Kira spent time in the Coalition Medical Center, where Shikari scientists explained their genetic problem in greater detail. For generations, our people traveled space. Tala explained the Shikari chief scientist displayed genetic models showing progressive degradation. Something in space travel, perhaps radiation or gravitational variations, damaged our reproductive capabilities. Each generation, fewer children survive to adulthood. Can Earth science help? Kira asked, studying the complex models. Perhaps, Tala responded. Human DNA shows remarkable adaptive qualities. Your species evolved under specific planetary conditions, yet adapts quickly to new environments. This resilience interests us greatly. The Coalition genetic specialists believe human biological material might provide templates for Shikari regeneration. Kira considered the implications. Such exchange would require careful ethical consideration. Of course, Tala agreed. We seek partnership, not exploitation. Both our peoples would benefit. The Coalition offers technology and knowledge in exchange for biological samples and scientific cooperation. The Coalition vessel designated for Earth transport prepared for departure. The sleek ship dwarfed anything humans had built, incorporating technology centuries beyond Earth capabilities. The Coalition Council assigned representatives from 3 species to accompany the humans. Neela represented the Shikari. Captain Wilson gathered her crew before departure. Earth will struggle with this revelation, she told them. Our return with alien representatives will change human history forever. We must help our people understand both the opportunity and threat. The journey to Earth took mere days. Despite the vast distance, the Coalition vessel utilized technology that manipulated space-time itself, creating shortcuts through the fabric of reality. The humans watched in amazement as stars blurred past at impossible speeds. During transit, Neela spent considerable time with Kira. They had developed a connection that transcended their biological differences. Kira found herself drawn to the Shikari woman, fascinated by her perspective and evident intelligence. Their conversations ranged from scientific exchange to philosophical discussions about their respective cultures. You understand us better than most, Neela observed as they shared a meal in the ship dining area. The Coalition feared humans might react with hostility or fear, yet you show curiosity and openness. Humans contain multitudes, Kira replied, smiling. Some will fear you, others will welcome you with open arms. Our history includes both terrible violence and remarkable compassion. The Coalition vessel approached solar system boundaries deliberately, broadcasting identification signals on multiple frequencies. Earth detection systems registered the approach, triggering planetary defense protocols. Human military vessels moved to intercept the unknown ship. Captain Wilson transmitted authentication codes identifying herself and the Aurora crew. Despite confirmation, the Earth vessels maintained defensive positions. Their caution understandable, given the circumstances. Admiral Grace Peterson, commander of Earth Defense Fleet, personally led the reception. Her battleship Invictus matched course with the Coalition vessel, establishing communication. This is unprecedented. Admiral Peterson transmitted, her voice steady, despite the extraordinary situation. The Aurora was declared lost with all hands 3 years ago. Wilson explained their rescue and subsequent events in careful terms, deliberately understating the Vex threat until face-to-face discussions could occur. Admiral Peterson reluctantly agreed to escort the Coalition vessel to lunar orbit. Earth governments needed time to prepare for first contact. The coalition representatives transferred to the Invictus for initial meetings. Kira watched Neela and the others step aboard the human vessel, noting their careful movements in the unfamiliar environment. Admiral Peterson greeted them with formal military courtesy, hiding any personal reactions behind professional discipline. For several hours, the coalition representatives explained their presence to increasingly senior Earth officials. The information passed upward through command chains, eventually reaching global leadership. The United Earth Council convened an emergency session to address the situation when the coalition vessel finally received permission to approach Earth. News of their arrival had spread globally. Billions watched broadcasts as the alien ship entered orbit. Its elegant design, unlike anything humans had created, fascinated observers. Speculation ran rampant about the visitors' intentions. The Aurora crew returned to heroes' welcomes. Their families had mourned them as dead for 3 years. The reunions mixed joy with confusion as crew members struggled to explain their experiences. Kira found her parents waiting at the lunar reception facility. Their tearful embrace reminded her how much she had missed human connection, despite her fascinating time with the Shikari. The Global Defense Council established a secure facility in Geneva for prolonged discussions with coalition representatives. Earth scientists, engineers, and diplomatic specialists gathered to evaluate both opportunities and threats. Kira received an appointment as special liaison, her unique experience with the Shikari making her invaluable. During the Geneva discussions, Kira worked closely with Neela, translating not just words but cultural contexts for both sides. Human representatives struggled with coalition concepts, particularly their economic system, which operated without currency. The coalition representatives similarly found human territorial instincts and competitive markets difficult to comprehend. Privately, Neela expressed concerns to Kira. Some human factions seem eager for weapons, technology rather than cultural exchange. The coalition cannot provide military advantages without assurance of responsible use. Kira acknowledged the issue. Many humans fear the unknown. First instinct often involves protection. Earth history includes numerous examples of technological disparities leading to exploitation. The coalition must understand these concerns. The Vex attack escalated with methodical precision. Their ships targeted communication satellites, first degrading Earth's ability to coordinate global defenses. Coalition vessels moved to protect critical infrastructure, but the Vex numbers stretched, their resources thin. The first shots of the battle illuminated space around Earth with weapons technology humans had never witnessed. Admiral Peterson established joint command with coalition forces. Her flagship Invictus served as coordination center. Human military personnel worked alongside coalition specialists, merging their different approaches to warfare. The humans provided creative tactics, while the coalition contributed superior technology. Kira found herself serving as liaison between scientific teams and military command. Her understanding of both human and coalition thinking proved invaluable as they developed countermeasures against Vex technology. She worked tirelessly with Neela, analyzing Vex attack patterns, seeking weaknesses in their seemingly perfect coordination. The Vex fighting style revealed disturbing efficiency. Each ship functioned as part of integrated whole. Their formations adapted instantly to defensive measures, showing machine-like precision without apparent independent decision-making. This observation led Kira to an important insight. They operate like networked systems, she told the command staff studying tactical displays. The Vex ships respond too quickly for biological pilots. Their movements suggest artificial intelligence or direct neural interface. Neela confirmed this assessment. Coalition intelligence indicates the Vex utilize extensive automation. Their ships contain minimal biological components primarily for maintenance and oversight. Their advantage comes from instantaneous communication and reaction. Admiral Peterson leaned forward, studying the battle patterns. If they operate as network, they must have central coordination points. Disrupt those and individual ships lose effectiveness. Human hackers worked with coalition technology specialists attempting to penetrate Vex communication systems. The alien encryption proved formidable, but not impenetrable. Coalition linguists contributed understanding of Vex command protocols while human, computer scientists applied unconventional approaches to code breaking. Their combined efforts gradually revealed structural weaknesses. Meanwhile, Kira continued supporting the genetic research team. Coalition medical technology accelerated analysis. That would have taken human scientists decades. The preliminary results showed promise. Human DNA contained specific sequences that might address Shikari deterioration. The same sequences demonstrated resistance to radiation damage and cellular decay patterns affecting the Shikari population. The genetic work proceeded in secure underground facilities as battles raged in space above Earth. Vex forces pushed closer to the planet with each engagement. Coalition defenses held but suffered losses they could ill afford. Human vessels fought alongside alien allies, their inferior technology offset by unpredictable tactics that sometimes confused the mathematically precise Vex responses. Human pilots demonstrated particular effectiveness. In strike missions, their aggressive approach contrasted with Coalition defensive doctrine. A squadron of Earth fighters executed a maneuver the Shikari had calculated as mathematically impossible, flying through a debris field at maximum acceleration to deliver payloads directly to a Vex command ship. The successful strike disabled Vex coordination, temporarily creating opportunity for Coalition counterattack. Neela observed the human pilot's return with astonishment. Our simulations predicted 0 survival probability for that maneuver. Yet most of your squadron returned. The pilots celebrated their victory with characteristic human enthusiasm, their near-death experience seemingly enhancing rather than diminishing their resolve. Humans evolved as pursuit predators, Kira explained, watching the pilots. We possess unusual endurance and risk tolerance compared to many species. Our history rewarded those who pushed boundaries. This perspective shift influenced Coalition tactical planning. They began incorporating human unpredictability into their strategies. While Coalition ships maintained defensive formations, human vessels executed surprising maneuvers, creating confusion in Vex response patterns. The combined approach yielded better results than either methodology alone. The genetic research team achieved breakthrough during the 3rd week of conflict. Olivia Chen discovered that human cellular adaptation to radiation exposure provided exactly the genetic stability Shikari needed. The solution had been misunderstood. The Shikari required not just human genetic material, but the specific way human cells responded to environmental damage. This discovery transformed the Coalition-human relationship from necessary alliance to genuine symbiosis. Each species held part of what the other needed to thrive. Earth needed Coalition technology to survive the Vex threat. The Shikari needed human genetic patterns to ensure their species' survival. The mutual dependence created foundation for lasting partnership. As the research team refined their findings, Vex forces launched their largest assault yet. A massive command vessel entered Earth orbit, deploying hundreds of smaller craft in precise formation. Coalition defenses strained against the onslaught. Coalition and human leaders recognized the critical moment had arrived. They needed decisive action before Vex reinforcements arrived. Admiral Peterson proposed audacious plan targeting the Vex command vessel directly. We need a strike team aboard their flagship, she explained, studying tactical projections. Disable their coordination center, and the attack loses coherence. Coalition intelligence suggests central command node controls all Vex ships in the system. The mission required volunteers willing to undertake near-suicidal odds. The strike team would need both human adaptability and Coalition technical expertise. Kira stepped forward, offering her scientific knowledge. Neela immediately joined her. Their experiences working together made them natural partners for the mission. The strike team assembled quickly, including Coalition technical specialists and human special forces. The plan utilized captured Vex shuttle, modified with Coalition technology. The team would approach the command vessel disguised as returning Vex craft. Coalition hackers had partially decoded Vex identification protocols, giving them narrow window to penetrate defenses as they prepared for departure. Kira and Neela shared quiet moment among the military preparations. Their friendship had evolved during the conflict, becoming something neither had words to fully describe. They came from different worlds, Different biologies, yet found connection transcending those differences. The shuttle, launched during intense battle using the chaos as cover, coalition forces created deliberate opening in their defensive line, allowing the strike team apparent escape vector. The Vex command vessel tractored the shuttle, aboard as expected, believing it contained damaged components returning for repair. Inside the massive Vex ship the strike team encountered, environment unlike anything they had prepared for. The interior featured mechanical precision with biological components integrated throughout the corridors, pulsed with energy that seemed simultaneously technological and organic. Vex drones moved with singular purpose, ignoring the disguised infiltrators' coalition. Technical specialists disabled internal sensors as the team progressed deeper into the vessel. Human special forces neutralized Vex security measures with minimal noise, their combined skills allowing steady progress toward the central command node. The team relied on coalition intelligence. Schematics, though. Several detours became necessary when pathways differed from predictions. 4 hours into the mission, they reached Central Control Chamber. The massive room contained what appeared to be biological components suspended in technological matrix. The Vex command structure finally revealed itself as neither fully machine nor fully organic, but synthesis of both. Coalition specialists began work disabling the system, while human forces established defensive perimeter. Kira analyzed the biological components, finding evidence that validated their theories. The Vex had once been fully biological species. Their technology had gradually replaced organic elements until little remained of their original form. The command node contained preserved genetic material from countless assimilated species. The Vex collected biological diversity, not for cooperation, but for absorption. Neela interfaced with coalition devices attempting to disrupt Vex coordination. The system resisted conventional approaches, adapting to each intrusion attempt. The Vex artificial intelligence demonstrated learning capabilities, recognizing and countering coalition technology with increasing efficiency. Kira noticed pattern in the system response. The Vex adaptations followed predictable sequences. Their apparent intelligence, while sophisticated, remained fundamentally algorithmic. They could not improvise, only optimize within established parameters. This limitation suggested potential vulnerability. What if we introduce unpredictable element? Kira suggested, observing the system response patterns. Something the algorithms cannot categorize, something fundamentally human. The team implemented her suggestion. Human programmers introduced chaotic variables into the coalition intrusion protocols, deliberately incorporating elements that defied logical pattern recognition. The approach confused Vex defenses, creating openings in their otherwise perfect countermeasures. 6 months after the Vex retreat, humanity and the coalition established permanent diplomatic relations. Earth governments united under necessity, creating single representative body for interstellar affairs. The Global Council maintained internal autonomy while presenting unified voice in coalition matters. The arrangement reflected both human political realities and practical requirements of galactic diplomacy. Kira officially accepted position as human ambassador to the coalition. Her scientific background and personal experiences with the Shikari made her ideal bridge between worlds. She established embassy aboard coalition diplomatic vessel, Harmonious Exchange. The ship maintained Earth orbit, serving as neutral territory for ongoing negotiations. Neela became official Shikari representative to Earth, working alongside Kira to strengthen alliance. Their partnership evolved into model for human coalition cooperation. Their different perspectives complemented rather than conflicted, each transition becoming opportunity for mutual understanding rather than source of discord. The first joint human coalition expedition prepared for launch. Scientists, engineers, and explorers from both Earth and coalition worlds would venture beyond known territories, seeking knowledge and resources. Their vessel Celestial Horizon incorporated both human and coalition technology. The hybrid design represented engineering triumph and symbolic statement. The ship featured systems that neither civilization could have created alone. Admiral Peterson oversaw security preparations for expedition, Despite Vex's retreat, coalition intelligence warned of potential return. The Admiral established defense perimeters throughout Solar System coalition. Technology supplemented human determination, creating formidable barrier against future incursion. The combined defensive network represented new standard in interspecies cooperation. Meanwhile, genetic exchange program flourished under strict ethical guidelines. Human volunteers provided genetic templates helping Shikari scientists develop treatments for their deterioration. Coalition medical technology revolutionized human healthcare, eliminating diseases that had plagued Earth for centuries. The symbiotic relationship benefited both species, creating foundation for lasting partnership. Olivia, Chen-led human research team working alongside Tala and Shikari geneticists. Their laboratory aboard Coalition Medical Station combined technologies from multiple worlds. The breakthrough treatments developed there would ensure Shikari survival for generations. Olivia often expressed amazement at how circumstances brought their species together. "We might have developed for centuries without meeting," she told Kira during inspection tour. "Now we advance together faster than either could alone." Kira maintained rigorous schedule dividing time between diplomatic duties and scientific oversight. She represented humanity in Coalition Council meetings while contributing to ongoing research. The dual roles exhausted her but provided unique perspective on evolving relationship between civilizations. Her decisions influenced everything from technology exchange protocols to cultural understanding initiatives. 3 weeks before Celestial Horizon launch, Kira received troubling news. Coalition long-range sensors detected unusual energy signatures near former Vex territory. The pattern suggested possible recovery faster than predicted. The Coalition Council convened emergency session to assess implications. "The Vex adaptation exceeds our model's coalition security," Chief explained, displaying sensor data. "Their technological evolution continues despite setbacks. They rebuild with improved defenses. Against our methods," Admiral Peterson studied technical reports with characteristic intensity. "How much time do we have?" Uncertain, the security chief admitted. "The signatures remain distant, their intentions unclear. We recommend accelerating defensive preparations while continuing diplomatic initiatives." Kira recognized the subtext. The coalition feared renewed conflict but hesitated to alarm newer members. Earth remained vulnerable despite technological advances. The human ambassador requested private meeting with coalition leadership. "We need complete transparency," she argued. "Earth deserves full information regardless of concern about our reaction. Withholding threatens trust we've built." The Coalition Council agreed, providing comprehensive intelligence briefing to Earth leadership. The Vex recovery proceeded with enhanced capabilities. Their technology adapted specifically to counter coalition human methods. Evidence suggested systematic analysis of strike team intrusion, identifying weaknesses in their systems. The machines learned from defeat, evolving beyond previous limitations. Global Council reviewed evidence with remarkable composure. The initial panic that might have followed first contact had matured into measured concern. Earth leadership had grown during months of coalition interaction. They assessed situation with newfound perspective, balancing immediate security against long-term cooperation. Preparations accelerated throughout Earth. Coalition vessels reinforced solar system defenses while human military forces trained with advanced weapons. The Celestial Horizon mission received security upgrade, transitioning from purely scientific expedition to exploration with defensive capability. The ship would proceed as planned, demonstrating continued commitment to partnership despite renewed threat. 2 days before scheduled launch, Coalition sensors detected massive energy surge near Jupiter. The disturbance created subspace anomaly, similar to Coalition transportation technology but vastly larger. The phenomenon stabilized, forming a apparent gateway or portal. Unidentified vessels emerged from distortion, maintaining position at system edge. These vessels match neither Vex nor Coalition design, Admiral Peterson reported, studying preliminary scans. Their technology appears different from anything in our database. They maintain formation without aggressive posture. Coalition leadership convened alongside Earth representatives. The unexpected development created both concern and curiosity. The newcomers neither approached nor retreated, simply observing. They transmitted no communications, attempted no scans. Their presence alone conveyed message. We are here. After 24 hours of observation, the unknown vessels transmitted signal directed toward Earth. The message contained mathematical sequence recognizable to both human and coalition scientists. The pattern represented universal constants, transcending linguistic barriers. The Coalition Council debated appropriate response while human leaders argued for direct communication. Kira proposed joint response representing both Earth and Coalition unified welcome rather than separate messages. The approach received approval after brief deliberation. The combined reply incorporated mathematical acknowledgement, alongside simple greeting in multiple formats. The transmission included location for potential meeting, respecting both security concerns and diplomatic courtesy. The unknown vessels remained stationary for several hours after receiving transmission. Eventually, single ship detached from formation, approaching designated coordinates. Their movement demonstrated precise control and apparent respect for established boundaries. The vessel, design featured elegant simplicity with few visible external components. Its propulsion system defied coalition analysis, moving without detectable emissions. Kira and Neela prepared to represent their peoples aboard Coalition diplomatic shuttle. They would meet the visitors at safe distance from both Earth and Coalition fleet. The encounter carried enormous implications, potentially introducing new civilization to existing galactic dynamics. The situation required both caution and openness. As the shuttle approached meeting coordinates, Kira felt weight of responsibility. Her journey from Aurora scientist to interstellar diplomat seemed impossible, yet she had adapted with characteristic human flexibility. Beside her, Neela represented similar transition from Shikari explorer to Coalition diplomat. Their shared experiences created foundation for whatever followed. The unknown vessel maintained position, allowing Coalition shuttle to establish compatible docking procedure. The interface between vessels created sealed corridor permitting safe passage without environmental contamination. The engineering demonstrated remarkable adaptability, suggesting advanced understanding of different biological requirements. When airlock opened, Kira experienced momentary disorientation. The corridor ahead seemed to shift perspectives, creating visual effect that defied normal perception. The apparent distortion resolved, revealing three beings waiting beyond threshold. Their appearance defied easy description. Vaguely humanoid, they stood taller than Shikari, with translucent skin that refracted light in mesmerizing patterns. Their features appeared simultaneously solid and fluid, changing subtly with each movement. The central figure addressed them in perfect Coalition standard language, surprising both representatives. We observe your conflict with the mechanical collective. The being's voice resonated with harmonic overtones, creating multi-layered communication. Your resistance interests. Few biological civilizations withstand their assimilation. Kira responded carefully, maintaining diplomatic protocol. We represent Coalition of independent worlds and Earth. We seek peaceful cooperation, not conflict. The Vex threatened our autonomy. The beings communicated among themselves through light patterns moving across their skin before responding. The entity you name Vex represents failure of evolution, biological life surrendering to mechanical efficiency. They preserve genetic patterns. While abandoning consciousness, their expansion threatens balance between organic and synthetic development.